update video because I haven't done one in a long time and I was kind of in the mood to do one. Um, Not much has changed with the collection, but there have been changes. And one thing I'll point out right away is this shelf used to be here, and then this shelf used to be there. And the reason I switched it is because this shelf and this shelf are the same size, and this one's a little bit more narrow. Now, keep in mind though, the reason I had bought this shelf is because I thought I was buying this shelf. But what it turns out is that the people that make this shelf stopped making this shelf and started making this shelf and sold it for the same price. And that, my friends, is shrinkflation. Love the economy today. Anyways, moving on. Not much has changed to the collection, but let's go through what I have on display. And before doing that, let's just say hi to the dog. Hey, dog. Okay, then. And we move on to over here. So I dipped my toes into some Marvel Diamond Select toys, specifically these two Hulk figures, Red Hulk and Green Hulk. Probably the best Hulk figures I've ever seen. Really like them, and I got them at retail price, which is significantly, not significantly anything. They're just a really good price I found at retail. Not much more expensive than like a Marvel Legend toy like that Wolverine right there. But as you can see, there's a whole lot more plastic to this one. So yeah, picked up both of those at retail. I was very happy to get them. Really like those toys. I'm not into buying like Marvel Legends toys too much, but I had to get those two. They're just so badass. And right there we've got Wolverine 97. And that fully satisfies my itch for any Wolverine toy that I could ever possibly want. Would I get more Marvel figures? Maybe. Very selectively. Because that's a very deep rabbit hole that you don't want to get involved in. I'll probably get like a really good Punisher if I can get it for like retail or cheap. But I mean, really, I'd want to stay away from Marvel. That's you know what I mean? We got freaking Juggernaut right there. Again, got that for retail. It's a really nice looking brick. Probably one of the best looking bricks you can buy. But yeah, happy to have that. And then there's McFarlane Spawn. Jumped into McFarlane figures as well this year, but very little. And I'll get into that very soon. Actually, I'll probably get into that once I'm done with this shelf. But yeah, there's a Spawn figure. I can't say I really care for Spawn too much, but I remember when he first came out, he was so badass looking. And this was also at the peak of, McFarlane's career and everything. So I picked that up. It was on sale on Amazon, and happy to have it. And in his hand, he's gotten another McFarlane toy sword from Azrael in silver armor Batman. But I got rid of that figure, and I'll get into that soon enough. But anyways, there's that. But I do like having that sword on him. It's got like a little crucifix and everything. Kind of fits his motif. And then moving up, got a couple Batmobiles, Death Star as always, and of course my Pac-Man. And that's a piggy bank, by the way. Picked it up at Walmart long time ago. And it wasn't even like the toy or like video game section. It was in like housewares with like jewelry boxes and other piggy banks. It was just walking through Walmart, and I'm like, is that a Pac-Man in that weird section over there? And yeah, there you go. And they also had ghosts, the ghosts as well. Anyways, moving on. I guess we could talk about. I said I was going to talk about the McFarlane stuff on the very top shelf. So, like I said, I dabbled a bit into McFarlane toys. They are pretty decent toys, but I will say that there's always something weird with their toys. Like, they miss the mark somehow. They just can't seem to release that one really super perfect figure. But when I did dip my toe, I actually bought more figures than what you see here. I actually had let's see here, like the gold Hellbat armor one, the silver Azrael, and an Etrigan, and a Black Adam. But I really didn't want to do any more McFarlane. I was like, all right, I'm done. I got what I want. I'm happy with it. And I don't even really want these extra characters. So I got rid of those. But I kept accessories and actually gave those toys away. But I did keep accessories from them, specifically the Etrigan sword and that sword that you saw from Spawn. I also had another Batman, but I got rid of him. So what I do have to keep is Arkham Arkham City Batman, and he's with the Batarang from the other Batman toy that I had and got rid of. Same thing with that Batarang. I think it came from the other toy as well. So better accessories. I got the Shazam, which was the Walmart exclusive, and he's actually using Black Adam's thunder effects, which look much better than the ones he came with. And he's using a stand from Action Comics Superman 1000. And I'll get into that in a second, because up here is Rebirth Superman, but I also kit bashed him with Action Comics 1000 Superman. Specifically, he's got AC 1000's boots and underwear, but everything else is Rebirth. And I like that version myself personally. And I got rid of, actually ended up breaking the other Superman by accident. So that went in the trash, but it's okay, because here is my definitive Superman until they make something better. And I am open to getting a better version of either of these characters. I believe there's actually going to be a black and gray Nightfall Batman releasing in 2024. So I'll be happy to get that. And of course the Batmobile that came out, which is an absolutely amazing Batmobile. And I love the Batman figure. You can see that he's sitting in there. And this is the Amazon version. I actually pre-ordered the first version, but I canceled it because there was a few things that just bothered me. It wasn't the perfect version. And again, this goes back to, like, you want the perfect version. And this is as close as it gets to that perfect, 89 version. Happy with it. Not going to look back. And won't buy any, like, upgraded version if that was to ever release. So yeah, I guess we'll move on to the Transformers. Let's start with Autobots, I guess. Up top, we got Metroplex, Fort Max, exact same as before. Nothing at all has changed there. You could probably watch my 2022 video, and you'll probably see that they probably haven't even changed poses. Going down, we got our Autobots Season 1. What's different on this shelf, I guess? I believe I got Slag and Slug. So those replaced my KO Oversize. And I took out my KO Oversize Swoop. And I think I need to cut my nails. Of Swoop. And I'll just waiting on the SS version to come out for that. And once that does come out, I think that's going to call it almost done for the Autobots. I'm going to say done. But I know there's a Sandstorm that's going to be releasing. And depending on how it turns out, I may be interested in that one. Also interested in Octane if they release that. Moving down, we've got absolutely no... Oh, and I'll also add that I'm using the risers for this, for the Dinobots before. You can kind of see right there. It's like plastic ones. I got those from Dollarama. I believe they're organizers for, like, maybe a bathroom or something. They're just trays stackable onto each other. And they came in several different sizes. And I bought a whole bunch just for my shelves. Moving down. This is like Season 2 movie. I don't think anything has really changed since, other than the fact that I got those risers. And I'm also going to emphasize the fact that, if you're thinking about getting risers or something, check your Dollaramas and your dollar stores. See if you can find a cheap alternative. Because if you have a lot of figures like me, and you want to actually get the risers in hand to check it out, then that might be the better option to explore, because you might save a whole lot of money and also be able to actually see what you're going to work with before you actually put any money down. But yeah, okay, so there's this shelf. Nothing I think has changed. And then we move down a shelf, combiner shelf here. The only difference here is I got this Junkion. I think I completely forgot his face, like Scrap Face. No, it's not Scrap Face. That was the Netflix guy, Reflector guy. Scrap Iron Face, something like that. Junk Guy. There you go. But I forgot his name, unfortunately. And then moving down, the other new thing would be Holler over there. Wasn't planning on getting Holler, but he was on sale, really cheap. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get Holler under that circumstance. And so there you go. Plus, I kind of like the balance to the shelf. It's a lot nicer when you can actually kind of make things a little bit symmetrical, or as symmetrical as you can. Then moving down, I got absolutely nothing new on this shelf since my last video. Not even risers needed or anything. But I did have an issue with my Ectotron right there. I don't know, his backpack fell off and it won't secure. It's there now, but barely hanging on, but it won't secure properly. I don't know what's up with that. And I never touched him. It just fell off, won't go back on. And I noticed that when I was cleaning the shelf about a week ago or two. And lastly, Omega and Skyfire, Jetfire, whatever, and Skylinks. All right. And I guess move on to we'll get to you guys soon enough, because now we get to these guys instead. And here we are with the Decepticons. All right, so my bottom shelf, nothing changed at all, except there used to be a box here for the DNA kit for Scorpion, or Scorponok, I mean. I still haven't installed those. I actually just put that in the closet and forgot about it. But here's Venusaur instead. So we got that shelf going with Venusaur. He's a little too big for the shelf where I was putting my combiners before. A little too tall, so down he goes there, which is just as well too because it balances out this shelf. Moving up, we've got a Seeker shelf. Now this shelf actually used to be a couple shelves higher where my Quintessons now reside, and my Quintessons used to be on this shelf. It just made sense to have the Quintessons more visible up there and move these guys down. I'm also using risers. If you look at my previous video, you could see my Seeker shelf. It was like not a mess, but you couldn't see anything. All you could see were the front guys. And issue with that is because everything is Voyager size, so everyone's blocking each other. So having a risers was a definite must if I actually want to see what I have. And it's worth the investment because, again, if you're going to spend that much on toys, then it's nice to be able to actually see what you have in your collection. It also saves a lot of space on the shelf and opens up more possibility for poses because then you can have people like, targeting overhead from other Voyagers and stuff. Anyways, so there's that shelf. And then moving up, we've got combiner shelf with empty slot where there used to be another combiner, but like I said, Venusaur went down here. But yeah, there you go. Let me just get out of the light as best I can. So yeah, there you go. I don't think anything changed with the shelf at all. Not sure I would want to ever. I also said this in my previous video. I don't think I'd ever change or upgrade these combiners because, I mean, first, I'm in Canada, so prices that I say will be in Canadian. But that Venusaur right there, before tax, you're looking at each limb is a deluxe. That's $35 plus tax. And the torso is Commander, which I believe is $120 plus tax. And that's full retail price. You put that all together, you're going to end up with a price of $260. And I recall spending $260 retail price when Omega was new. And I recall spending about that much on Scorponok when he was new at retail. And that was just like within the past few years now. Like 2019, I recall getting him around October, November. And this guy was just a couple of years ago. So huge difference in what you're getting these days. And I just don't see myself wanting to invest that much money. But if I was to, I would probably upgrade Bruticus because I think he's probably the best character out of all the combiners, in terms of story at least. But he's also super awesome. But his episodes of Starscream, super memorable. But Predaking takes the cake because, I mean, he's just the best looking combiner. Anyways, moving on. So there we go with the combiner shelf. Then we've got the Quintessons, which, like I said, used to be a couple shelves down. And they're on these risers as well. Individual little square ones. And that actually opened up enough room so that I could put these arbiters up in front. So they could be seen. They used to actually be in the back, but they were not visible because you just no space. And then finally, we'll move up to the final shelf, other than the Titans up there. Season 1-ish, 2-ish, just the main cast, if you will. And again, risers being used on this, which is great because you couldn't really make out characters. And happy to finally finish the Insecticon faction. Really happy with those. Although they could have probably done a better job with Bombshell's head gun thingy. But either way, done with that. And like I said, there's risers there, so I can actually see everything a whole lot better. And I'm thinking I'll probably end up painting Megatron's crotch there all black, because now I can actually visually see these guys having used the risers. And they're clear plastic, but on my G.I. Joe shelf, I painted them in. I'll get to that soon. Then finally, top shelf, we've got the Titans, same as before, Scorponok. Still didn't put the knees in. And Trypticon, exact same poses. Even these guns are exactly posed as my last video from May of 2022. Have not touched. And just in case you're wondering, these knee cannons, these belong to Scorponok. They used to be his shoulder cannons. But I got the DNA kits, which replaced those shoulder cannons and added more. So, why not repurpose it for that? Anyways, there you go. That's there. Let's move on to G.I. Joe Classified. So here's the Crimson shelf. And I do have I do have one toy order on its way. It's going to involve a Buzzer, Ripper, and 2 Crimson Alley Vipers. So I'll be adding 2 Crimson Alley Vipers to this shelf once that comes in, probably a little later this month. But yeah, here you go, Crimson shelf. I got those snakes from Dollarama. They're $5. Those were floating around at regular retail a few years ago. I remember that. And some people were, and just around the same time when Classified first released, and people were buying that up, and they would cut off the tail and make them like, these statues or whatever. So I did the exact same thing, although I'm very happy to have gotten them at retail. And actually what I did was cut the tail off perfectly, and I glued them onto McFarlane bases, because when I got rid of those McFarlane toys I talked about, those extra ones, I kept the bases, kept the accessories, gave the toy away, and used it for there. So they're standing up perfectly straight and very stable. Let's see here. I got the Cobra Commander with the custom head there. Little tiny, I'm gonna zoom in there, Soundwave sitting there. That came with the drone pack, which was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive Transformer toy that I bought, sold the toy, and kept all the accessories. And there are the little gold bars there because he's rich. And a little mini figure that came from a cheap knockoff Lego G.I. Joe set that Hasbro made. And they are terrible, terrible, terrible sets. Oh my gosh, are they terrible sets. I kept the minifigure and gave the toys away to the same person that I gave the McFarlane toys. That person, by the way, is my neighbor's kids. They're like super young. They love these things. So for them, it's like, yay, free toys. So happy to do that way. And there's the risers. I painted them. They're clear plastic normally, but I painted these ones red because it's the Crimson shelf. And these stairs right here, I made myself. Those are actually domino sets that I purchased at the dollar store, $1.75 each. I bought 3 sets, glued them together, and stacked them to make a, just take these away. There you go. See, it's just dominoes. Just stacked dominoes, glued together. Nothing special, but that looks a lot nicer that way. And I'll fix that once I'm done the video. Moving down the shelf. Got I guess this is a Serpentor shelf. I am going to make this a Cobra Law shelf as time goes by. So some of these figures will be coming down. I'm going to keep the bats up there with Mindbender because he made these guys pretty much. And this guy is pretty much 100% aligned with him. And there's Snake there. But eventually the rest will be moved down, like this guy. This is the Valverse Swarm figure. Really awesome figure. Very happy to get it. My brother got it for me for my birthday, actually. Very happy to have it. Fits in very well with the Cobra collection. And I'm going to pretty much make him a Cobra Law trooper or whatever it is. Leader of those other troopers, assuming they release those. I'm sure they will, too. And I could see myself army building maybe 4 of those Cobra Law troopers. get the other three figure, the Nemesis, Globulus, and Nemesis Enforcer. And also, if G.I. Joe could have Sergeant Slaughter, then Cobra gets Colonel Mustafa. His signature move is even the Cobra Clutch, so he's got to be part of Cobra. And I found him 15% off at Toys R Us, so I figured, yeah, why not? And he's using a McFarlane stand, too. This is Akiko with the Blue Ninja Girl head on there. And I painted all the parts that were not black. And and this is basically my custom Vipra, which is pretty much how the official Python Patrol Vipra was, except, this is more in line with her original toy release. So that was fun to make and very inexpensive because the Kiko is cheap and I already had the cat kicking around, and it's just dollar store paint. Let's see here. Storm Shadow, and those are from Ralph whatever Ninja. We'll get to him soon enough. And the old Firefly, and he's holding a Shockwave, which came from that drone pack that I talked about earlier. Cobra Commander shelf with all the troops. Very much like this shelf, I'm actually wondering if maybe I'll troop build 4 Techno Vipers and 4 Iron Grenadiers and create another tier of those shelves. And then that way I can add another stack of freaking troopers up there and just have them surrounded. And that would be awesome. So that's a possibility. But yeah, there you go. There's all that. And again, the risers are painted black, and I like that very much. Oh, wait. One thing I wanted to show. Those Lego packs that I talked about that were very crap. The Hiss ones came with 4 Cobra logo stickers. And I got 2. And just for the stickers. Because then I took those Cobra logo stickers and I stuck them onto my bats. And I still have another 2. But yeah, I like that. Moving down. This shelf is just going to be like named characters. So yeah, there you go. Also, it's not hard and fast. That's all Cobra. I do have my Snake Eyes, and I got Ralph the Ninja. And Ralph the Ninja is really cool because camouflage ninja is always cool. I got Timber there. I bought that Timber on a half-off sale that would happen just a few weeks ago, like a Black Friday sale or whatever it was. Anyways, 50% off, so I picked that up so that Snake Eyes can have a White Wolf. And the Gray Wolf went to Storm Shadow because he deserves to have a wolf, right? There's his minifigure and his minifigure. And I literally just bought that crappy Lego pack just for that minifigure. And that one I bought because I thought maybe the Lego was good. It was the first one I bought, and it's really shit Lego. Anyways, there's name figures. Got a couple of Crocs here, 2 Fionas or whatever with Croc Master. There's the Akiko head that is being eaten, and there's Shazam's hand being eaten. And, rest of I won't bother naming them. You should know who they are. And if you don't, then do some research. Destro. And they're actually on a plank of wood that I glued together. Those were the tops of the domino sets that I bought to make those stairs. And then final shelf is just a trooper shelf, all empty. In time, this will fill. So I basically kind of future-proofed it. You could probably fit a whole lot of figures here. I would imagine I could probably fit one of every single Cobra release that was put out if I was to squeeze them in. But either way, there you go. And on this shelf, it's just the Range Viper, Mole Rat, Televiper. Oh, the Televiper's holding on to a reflector, which came from that drone pack that I talked about earlier. And the Blue Ninja is wearing their alternative heads. And that sword right there came from the Etrigan figure that I gave away. But like I said, kept the swords. And I think that's everything. And I don't know what else to really say. I do actually have plans on something. I don't want to talk about it on camera, but I do intend to maybe make another video because my collection might go through a pretty big change in the next, I'll say 6 months or so. But again, it's very dependent on a whole bunch of things. So I don't know. soon enough, I may actually put up another video. But if not, then I don't. And whatever, no big deal, right? But either way, hope you enjoyed the collection tour, or the update, I should say. And yeah, I mean, thanks a lot, and have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day.